Good morning, one and all. Today is obviously Halloween for many people. For some people, like my uncle, it's their birthday. For some people, it's the day that they lost their leg. Um, but for me, this is 5 years to the day that I was probably at my darkest moment, the darkest moment of my life. And it's also the turning point in which I found help, in which I found support, and in which I found um, probably the best people around me at that time that could truly help me out and become who I am today, really. Um, Bit of backstory. I've had rheumatoid arthritis now for nearly 10 years. It started in my left knee and gradually made its way through every joint in my body over the next 5 years. In that time, I went through university, studied golf management, and golf was really my passion. It was what I was aiming to achieve in life. It was what I was wanting to work within the golf industry. Um, Everything that I worked for then got very quickly pulled to a halt. It got to a stage where I was on tablets every day, taking up to 20 tablets a day, painkillers, anti-inflammatories, everything like that. Um, so it got to the point where I was unable to work. Um, for some people, this is just the norm, but it's not the case when you're someone that's grown up playing all sports, all manner of sports, rugby, badminton, tennis, football, and then golf was my biggest passion. For suddenly to be able to not even get out of bed and go to the toilet in time simply because you can't move quick enough, it very quickly plays tricks on you and then very quickly gets into your head. And then because you're not getting out of the house and you're not seeing what the real world really has in store for some people, you get very quickly self-absorbed and your mind very quickly gets very close to self-pity and self-loathing, as it were. It was very much, this is all about me. I'm always in pain. It's not fair. This is not right. Why should I go through this? Um, Most people call that depression. Um, I don't like to use that word. I never saw myself as being depressed. I never, until I found help, I never really saw myself as being depressed. I saw myself as being the old whingy git that just wants to get on with things and can't do that. But to the people around me at that time, to my children, my kids, um, my now wife, my family, whenever someone asked me if I was okay, it would be the generic answer of, yeah, I'm fine, or yeah, it's okay, I'm in a bit of pain. But in the real truth of the matter, it was very much the opposite. I was struggling really badly. I just wanted to stay in bed, not know anyone, not talk to anyone. Um, so it got to the point where I then was on benefits and was struggling for money as a family of 4 children, um, that I absolutely adored and still do, and a partner who was then unable to work because she was caring for myself and the 4 children. We were on benefits, and through university, I started gambling, just a simple 50p football accumulator. And that simply grew from there then. And that gambling then got into serious problems where I wanted to spend all of my benefits trying to get more benefit out of gambling. And that's simply not the case. And it spiraled from there. And I ended up lying and cheating my way to getting more money from my family to be able to go and gamble and to be able to try and get more money. And in the end, it put me in an even bigger hole, which doesn't help. Um, 5 years ago today, I decided that I was going to borrow some money off my partner to go into town and get the kids some Halloween stuff while she picked the kids up from school and took them out. And the plan was for both of us to then take them out. I had to sign on that day as well, which was another reason why I was in town. Um, but I was due to meet them after I'd signed on, and we'll go out as a family and do trick or treating. But my job was also to get bits and pieces to go trick or treating. I had the money from my partner to go trick or treating, and then as I signed on, they also paid me the money that I was due for that week for signing on. And in my head at that time, I chose the option of again going into the bookmakers. And I can still remember it clear as day now, 5 years later, and try and get more money, make more money. It's always about making more money when you gamble. But the problem is when that's all the money that you've got, and you've got kids at the other end of the line waiting for you, waiting to take you out trick or treating. Inevitably, I lost all that money within a very quick space of time, and I was very quickly then trying to rummage around and find out ways of again conning my family or conning friends into giving me money just to cover what I'd already spent. To which I got no reply or no answers. And it very quickly spiraled from there. I was on my own, so that didn't help again. I very quickly got into my own head. And I suddenly thought, what a waste of space I am. Why am I putting my family through this? Why should I be on this planet if I'm spending all my family's money on gambling? And it still makes me upset now. It still makes me wonder what the hell on earth I was thinking. But at that time, that's all I honestly could think of was gambling, making more money to help. It was never gambling for fun. It was never gambling to sort of have a little dibble or dabble as some people do. I just wanted to make more money. If we were on the breadline, it was very much, oh, if I do this, I could double my money and get more money. So I sat out the side, the work job centre, and I just thought, what am I doing? Like, why have I done this again? Like, how many times do you need to do it to be able to learn your lesson? It's very easy to say that now, and it's very easy to look back and think, why didn't you do it? It's people like you talk to people, and quite rightly they think, well, why did you do it? Like, why can't you stop? This is an addiction. It's not. It's like people that are on drugs or alcohol or smoking. It's something that it's inside your head. You wake up and you think about, oh, how am I going to make the money again today? What do I need to do different today? What horses am I going to back today? So yeah, gambling was very much an addiction at that time, and it's something I struggled with massively. So I decided that I'd take a walk, and I was going to walk home because I couldn't afford a bus. So it's about a 2 mile walk home, and about halfway through, if anyone knows Guildford, it was down by the train station. There's a nice straight road which leads up to the university, and I very much was in the state of mind then that I was not meant to be on this planet. I was not meant to be, well, I was not going to continue hurting my family. I was not going to continue taking money from people and losing it. So I stepped out in front of a car. Now, as I stepped out in front of this car, it's a cliche, but I can honestly say that this happened to me. At the time, I had what was it, a 4-month-old baby at home, Victoria, who I idolise and treasure. And she was the one thing that stopped me staying in front of that car. It still makes me upset now. I'm crying now. She was the one thing that came into my head, nothing else. Gambling was gone. Self-pity was gone. But she was the one thing that stood there in my head, and I thought, what the hell am I giving that child if I can't be here for her when she's grown up? I'm never going to take her golfing. I'm never going to take her to school. I'm never going to see her first day at school. I very quickly decided to get out of the way of this car. With a few fingers and a few blares of the horn from the driver, She stopped, the driver stopped, and she asked if I was okay, because it was close, it very nearly hit me. And I just said, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking, made a stupid excuse as to why I was going to step out in the road in front of her. But I then took myself to hospital. I knew I needed to find help, and I knew I needed to see someone that I could speak to, that I could be completely honest to. And I found that in hospital. I went to hospital, they were completely accommodating. I talked through what I'd just done, and I spent the night in hospital that night. At this time, my kids were at home, my partner was at home. Not knowing where I was, I turned the phone off, and no one knew where I was. I stayed in hospital overnight. I spoke to a psychiatrist throughout the night, basically pouring my heart out to her, because she was asking various questions as to what was going on, what had put me in this space. And essentially, I just let everything go at that point. And again, it's a cliche, but the weight that lifted off my shoulder at that point was unsurmountable. Until you're in that position where you truly have put so much burden on yourself and you've built it up inside you, lying, deceit, craving, addiction for things. When someone sits there and gets you to pour your heart out, and it's not your heart, it gets you to tell the truth, essentially, it gets you to say what you're actually going on, you never actually truly realise what is the matter with you. So I woke up the next morning in hospital and discharged myself with the help of a psychiatrist. She very much pointed me in the right direction as to where I could find help. And from that, I came out of hospital, I turned my phone on to a flutter of messages and missed calls from my family, my mum and dad, who at the time lived in Somerset, miles away from where I am in Surrey. So I simply rang my other half and said, look, I'm sorry, but I've been in hospital all night. I've got a lot to talk about and I need to tell you a few things, but I'm fine and I need to talk to you. And the same goes for my mum and dad. I rang them and said, look, I tried taking my own life last night. I spent the night in hospital, but there's an awful lot of things that I need to talk to you about. Within 2 hours, which is very quick from Somerset, my mum and dad, who both work full time, were on my doorstep, giving me the support that I needed. My partner was very supportive at that time. And from that time, I then went to see people at hospital to gain counselling and advice on what I need to do. I got counselling over the phone, given techniques in which I could deal with it. I refused to go onto medication. Some people find the medication helpful, but I refused to do this. I thought it would not be the best way forward for me. And over the next sort of year to 18 months, I very quickly turned my life around and got into disabled golf. And 5 years later, this is where I am now. And I can truly say I'm thankful to everyone that's been there for me over the last 5 years. And my life is truly awesome now. Mental health is not something we should ignore. It's something we should work on, something which we should talk, and something which we should help everyone out with. So guys, this is the start of a month where I'll be fully supporting the Movember movement. As you can see, I've always generally had a beard, but this month I'm going to shave it all off apart from the tash, and in that way I'm going to show support for what is mental health and suicide in young people. Obviously 5 years ago for myself, I was 22, nearly 23. That's far too young. There are guys even younger than me that are in the same space that I was, headspace that I was, in the same place, that need help, need support, need the right guidance. I need to understand that there is people there for them. That's what I didn't understand. That's what I didn't get told, due to me being personally not approachable, keeping myself to myself. But part of this Movember movement is to raise money. I will put a link up on this video for my Movember movement. I'm going to try and raise a simple sum of £250. So if you can kindly donate your money to Movember, I'll try and get this thing nice and big and bushy for the month. And hopefully, with your guys' support, we can raise a lot of money. I truly think that this is a great thing to do for this month. It coincides with my birthday. It coincides with me traveling to Australia and being part of one of the world first disabled golf tournaments to be held on the same golf course as a PGA Tour event at the same time as a PGA Tour event. So there's a lot of firsts going on this month. It'll be the first time I shave my beard off and leave a mustache, that's for sure. So hopefully, if you guys out there that want to help or even support and do the same thing, the more money we can raise, the more people we can help, and the more awareness we get out there of young people that essentially want to commit suicide or in their space where they feel that that is the best option when it quite clearly isn't. And there are people here that do love them, do care for them, and want them to succeed. So guys, this video is going up today, and tomorrow I will shave this all off and post my first picture. Please share this around. This is just my story, but if I can help as many people as I can, young people, old people, disabled people, people that just need someone to talk to, I'm always here. Social media, I'll put my Twitter handle and stuff on the page below, just to sort of help people. If you want to talk to me, just give me a shout, message me on Facebook, whatever. Mental health is not something we're keeping quiet about anymore. This is something we need to talk about. It's not shouting because it's a private matter, essentially. No one else needs to know about your personal issues except for the people that can help you. I'm broadcasting this because I feel this is the best option for me. I find it helpful for me personally to broadcast it because it gets me talking about it again. But it also, I know, has helped other people previously about me talking about it. So guys, get out there, share it. Movember is going to be a great month, and this tash is going to be awesome by the end of November. So smash a like on it, put the thumbs up below, and hopefully we can get as many views as possible on this and help as many people as possible. And I'll see you all soon on the golf course or in and around Facebook, Twitter, social media. I love you all, and I love you 5 kids at home.